Alright, morning. Sunday, April 17, 2022. It's about 10 minutes before 6 o'clock. I'm on Nevada time, so it's just about sunrise. Sunrise will be over there somewhere. Kind of some dust in the air right now from the wind from last night, or from yesterday. Yeah. Oh yeah, and the moon over there, over yonder. Just waking up. Slept really good last night. There was just about sunset, the wind basically stopped. Probably an hour or two before sunset, I probably could have ridden again, but the way it was, I'd been sitting for 3 hours by then, or 4, something like that, and I hadn't really set up camp, but it's pretty much as soon as I stopped, I took the army cot and set it down, so I had something to sit on, right? So after you sit for a while, and it's like, what would be the point of riding another 5 or 6 miles to cross the border into Nevada unless I saw a really good place to park? I'm already here, whatever. If it hadn't have been so windy in the first place, I would have kept going because, it would have made sense to get somewhere different, but it would have been nice to cross the state line, right? But otherwise, it didn't really make a lot of difference, so. Not to me, anyway. So, the forecast today, it's going to be warm. I think it hit 80 yesterday. It's going to be about 80 or 85 today. Wind, like 4 miles an hour is the high all day, or 6 or something like that. It's really going to be nice. So we should make up some good miles today. Now, we're not going to, if you only do 20 yesterday, you can't make up the other 40 you should have got, the day before. I'm never going to make, I don't think I'll ever likely make a 100-mile day with the full load, with the setup I got. Now, when I'm doing Sun Trip over in San Francisco, I'm going to have much less stuff with me, and I might be able to do 100-mile days there, but then with the terrain, I think we're going to be going up and down hills, so I can't imagine we're going to do 100-mile days in the hills, so it is what it is, kind of thing. Yeah. There's always room for improvements, right? Anyway, so we are literally right there is the sign for mile marker 6. So that means 6 miles from Nevada. We're still in Arizona, still. And, yeah. So it begins. Mile marker 6 sign. Honestly, this is probably the least amount of cover and concealment that I've had anywhere, because from all the way back there, this line here was wide open, so if they were looking, they'd see me. That was the one concern that the police officer had, or highway patrol, or whatever his title was here, because he was parked right here, right? He's like, oh, we're going to get 911 calls all night. So he's like, well, he understood what I meant. He's like, well, if I ride another 6 miles, I'm going to be in Mesquite. Then I have to get through Mesquite. And at the time, it was still a headwind, or find a place to stay or whatever. And the wind was more or less kind of blowing down here. It's all the dust and, I don't think I put that clip on the video last night. I had several tumbleweeds just come ripping down this little trench and hit me when I was I was laying on the cot from pretty much as soon as I got here, so like 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I set up the cot just to have something to sit on, you know, so then I'd lay down on it to get down out of the wind a little bit, but the wind was blowing right across me, but being down low was better than standing up. So, but yeah, I had dust storms blowing through here, and you can see the haze in the air still from yesterday's wind. It was pretty bad. So off we go. But yeah, this has got to be a record. The sun has only been over the hill for half an hour, and I'm ready to roll. And it's warm enough. I took my sweatpants off. I'm gonna leave my sweatshirt on. It's a little bit cool, but I think I'll be okay. It's gonna warm up really fast today. Pretty sure about that. I am gonna dust the panels, and then we'll just bounce over the curb and off we go. Yeah, adventure awaits. Okay, this is gonna go in the record book as one of the coolest finds ever. This is not my solar panel. This is my solar panel. This thing was like on the other side of the guardrail here. I'm riding along and I'm like, whoa, slam on the brakes. So it's basically the same output as the panel I got, so I could double my power. I don't have a practical way to mount it though. What I'm thinking though is if I can rig it, I think what I can do, I've got some paracord. I'll hang it from here down sideways so it's vertical. It's not going to make much difference in a crosswind because the wind can't flow through here anyway. I don't think there's really a downside, and they don't weigh hardly anything. I checked it with the meter already. It is putting out power. So it never really got damaged when it probably just tore itself off the top of somebody's RV. You can see they glued it down with waterproofing, probably Sika. It's a pretty common adhesive sealant. And there was holes. So I'm not sure. I mean, they must have screwed it down because they waterproofed around the holes. There is a little bit of sealant on the bottom, so they just didn't do a good enough job probably. And on the end of the wire is still good. It's got a quick disconnect, so maybe it just yanked itself out, or they heard it flapping and just got mad and tore it off and threw it in the ditch or something. I don't know. So it's basically compatible with the one I got, close enough that it would work. So I don't have a practical way to use it while I'm moving, but man, when I stopped on a break, I could sure pull it out and plug it in. So I think what I'll do, I'll wire it in parallel with the other one so the voltage doesn't change. I just get more amps. So if I stop for an hour for lunch or something, put it out, we'd top off faster. A couple $100 worth of panel, it's worth picking it up. Yeah, crazy find. It's amazing what you see when you're going slow. All right, Nevada, state number 6 on the 22 states tour. Yoo-hoo! Oh man, after yesterday, I'm like, man, I'm 6 miles. I could just be there, but I'm not. Anyway, so we're here now, and it's only 8 o'clock in the morning, so we're doing pretty good. Took a little bit of time figuring out how to mount the panel. Oh, let me get a shot of this. It's just hanging. I got one string off the bottom so it doesn't flip too much. That would not work in the wind, but there's virtually no wind today, so we'll go with it for now. I do have one of my brakes dragging a little bit still. I'm getting a weird noise, so I'm going to see if I can figure that out. And then we're going on down the road. Okay, this is clearly a bigger problem than I thought. I kept hearing this weird sound. So what's going on, I got this chunk of metal here hanging off of the rim. I was braking so hard coming down out of the gorge, and I had tightened the wheels or the brakes up. I actually wore into the wheel enough that a piece is delaminating here. Okay. So I guess I'll be thinking about buying a new bicycle wheel soon. And it has been rubbing a little bit anyway, so yeah, that's where the noise is coming from. I kept looking for something dragging, and I didn't happen to see that until finally I was walking the bike a little bit so I could try to hear it, because when you're on top, I honestly thought the noise was off the front wheel. So for now, all I'm gonna do is just take off the one brake pad so that it doesn't rub anymore. That is seriously weak already though. So yeah, we're gonna have to go fix that when we get to Vegas. That's probably 2 days away still. So I'll just get a new rim, and if I should be able to find a bike shop in Vegas. All right, almost 10 o'clock in the morning on the 17th at another Walmart. I think this will show up, yeah. See this nice bright ribbon of metal sticking out, and the rim is separated. It's still holding the tire, which is amazing. But I'm like, it's probably not a smart thing to leave civilization with something like that. I was planning on trying to make it about a 60-mile ride to a campsite tonight, and then another probably 50 miles to Vegas tomorrow, Nevada. So we're in Nevada. I got an early start today. There is no wind. It is a perfect day. I mean, aside from the dust in the air, it is sunny. There's no wind. I was going to really make some time. And while I'm sitting here, I'm like, oh, let me pull out the phone and see what we got for options. There is a bicycle shop over there, 0.2 of a mile from here. But they're not open today. They might be open tomorrow, but it's Easter, so we're not sure. Air conditioner turned off just for the moment, but man, does it feel good. It's like 85 degrees outside or something like that. So, alien world here again, right? I got the bike sitting outside. Just after I got here, I carried a couple loads in from the other end of the parking lot, and then that spot opened up, so I'm like, okay, let's get the bike over here. I was going to sneak it in, but at the moment they're still doing rooms, housekeeping. So anyway, I got half the stuff in here. I might just leave the bike outside. I don't know. So what I'm thinking, oh yeah, and more. This one's got a phone in the room. The last motel I stayed in didn't even have a phone because everybody's got cell phones now. I just thought that was kind of funny. Yeah, anyway. Oh, gotta do this look. After taking a shower, oh, that looks horrible. There we go. A couple shades cleaner anyway. Yeah, the water was dark. Okay. I think the first thing I'm going to do is just start drinking lots of water. I hit the buffet for $12.99 or something like that, and pretty much just loaded up on protein. It was like meat, eggs, more meat, more eggs, taters, and then some French toast for a couple carbs. Yeah, because most of my diet lately is Cliff Bars, Snickers, Gatorade, and chunky soup. So I'm like, okay, we got to make up some gaps here while we're here. Yeah. So today's Sunday. Tomorrow the bike shop will be open. Through Google Maps there was a button to connect to the bike shop. I'm like, oh, okay. So I fired off a quick message just to see if anybody was available for the weekend. Worth a shot. I was at the Walmart, which is 3 miles from here, and the bike shop was right across the street from the Walmart. And I was kind of like just riding through town, coming off the freeway, big sign, bicycles must exit. Okay. Because there's a bike path all the way through town. That's kind of what got me thinking, is this is a super bike-friendly community, right? There's bike paths, there's neighborhood vehicles like golf carts and ATVs running around everywhere. And I was like, Mesquite looked like a little tiny town, but it seemed like a bike shop kind of town. A lot of like you get a town of 20,000 people won't have a bike shop, right? And I'm like, this seemed like a place that would have one, so that's why I got looking. Because you can't just randomly find a bike wheel anywhere. It's not the kind. It's not something that the average store would stock unless it's a bike store. Okay, so yeah. Anywho, they look like the kind of place that should be able to handle this, so I was torn. Do
do I want to take the wheel off and take it over there? Okay, 3 miles, I can walk that easy in an hour, not a big deal. They open at 9, so if I leave here, a little bit before 8, easy. I'll be the first guy in the door, kind of thing. Hopefully they can get me out pretty quick. I would think a technician that knows how to do this should be able to do the whole wheel in an hour. Just seems like that would be probable. Then I got to thinking, they must have laundry here. I didn't see it. I mean, they got a little, what your room key comes in. And I thought, okay. So I go, when I was eating stuff in my face at the buffet, go up and talk to the front desk. The front desk for the hotel is in the casino, obviously. This is a huge place. It's ginormous. From the front, because when I came into town the first time, I came right past this, and then there's a really big one across the street. And I saw a sign for like $27 rooms. So it was like 33, 34, I think, all up, something like that. So I didn't even feel bad about accidentally booking 2 nights, Yeah. So I booked it online through Expedia, link off of Google Maps, and boop, 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 confirm, blah, 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 pay, credit card, boom. I look at it, it was for tomorrow night. Oh! Go through. No cancellation policy. Okay, fine. So I think about it, I'm like, well, rather than going through online again, let me just call them and see if they have a room for tonight, and I'll just stay 2 nights. Because that was kind of my plan for Vegas. It's like, it would be nice to get off the bike for a day and stuff my face and shower. So I thought, okay, we'll try it out. And this was the thing is, the Motel 6 in Vegas was $110 a night. So I was like, that's when I decided I was just going to go find a campsite with maybe a warm shower and go that way. And then I happened to see this place. I'm like, well, that's a no-brainer, Plus I got a broken wheel, so that's a good time to stop. And a little town with a bike shop. Okay. So anyway, so they do have laundry, so I got laundry going now. When I got out of the shower, I'm digging through my bag, and I had maybe 2 pair of underwear and 1 pair of socks left, and that was it. So I was like, yeah, I think we're about out of laundry. Plus the laundry bag was looking full, so that's kind of a sign. It's a fairly small bag, so by the time I stuff that bag full, it's time to do laundry, and it fits within 1 load. So we're good. Carefully calibrated. So, yeah. It's funny because the laundry room is right next to the pool. They got a big pool and a hot tub, and everybody's out there because it's just a beautiful day. And I'm like, I think I'll stay in the shade for today. Then I got to thinking, I was like, okay, what are all the things I needed to do that I was thinking of doing in Vegas that I could take care of here instead, right? So we got laundry happening. I think I'm going to go get some clippers and shave the beard and probably buzz my head now that it's getting warm again. So now that I was just at the Walmart 3 miles away, I'm like, okay, so when I get laundry done, by then it'll be probably 3:30. I can walk 3 miles in an hour, so I'll be at the Walmart by 4:30. It kind of made sense to do it later when it's starting to cool off instead of in the heat of the day, just because. So I figured I'll take a chill here for a little bit, and then go to the Walmart, get a couple things, get the clippers. I was trying to think of anything else I needed. I'm not going to stock up on groceries, and I have to go right past that Walmart on the way out of town anyway, so I'll pick up groceries on the way out. Then I don't really need to stop in Vegas at all. I may or may not stop at the campsite that I was looking at. From here, I'm 7 miles closer than I was this morning. If it's a good day, I should be able to make the campsite in 1 day. But it's out of my way a bit. It's probably 10 miles off the highway. So it's 10 miles in, 10 miles out, so that slows me down. Now here's the part that really kind of sucks. I was looking at it and I'm like, right. Yesterday, 30-mile-an-hour headwinds. I stopped at 1 o'clock. I only did 20 miles yesterday, I think is what it came out to. Yeah, it was like exactly 20 miles, 20.0 to where I rolled to a stop. I only made it like 6 miles today, and then I saw I had a broken wheel, and I'm like, well, there ain't no sense in pushing that. Yeah, right. So today, 0 wind. I was flying. I mean, it was, and super sunny. Just the perfect day. I probably could have made the campsite today. It would have been about a 65, 70 mile ride, I think, with some hills, but not anything super big, right? So I was kind of like, and I left early. I left half an hour. I was on the road half an hour after sunrise. And then I messed around a little bit. I kept hearing that noise. That was the broken wheel, but I couldn't find it. I kept thinking, what is it, So it took me a while to find that. And then I found the solar panel on the side of the road. Yeah, that's got to be the find of the day right there, or of the trip. That's something I'm going to probably work on here. What I can do is the cabling that is on it, I'll just cut the ends off and put cabling that matches mine. And I think what I'll do is, how I got here, I hung the panel vertically off of one side. That didn't seem to be flapping around too much. It's down really close to the ground. So I think that'll work. I feel itchy because I'm clean. Oh man, the water in the shower. Oh. There was so much sand and grit and road grime. I mean, I think I'll just wrap it up here for now. Yeah. A couple people have pointed this out. It's like, okay, so if you want to help me with the ride, with the mission, it's in the description, but the way YouTube is set up right now, the video description it's not really obvious that it's even there. You got to be able to scroll down on your phone to see it it's like with the comments or below the comments. Android is different than Apple iOS, and it's just kind of confusing. So I keep saying it's in the description, but most people can't find it. So if you want to help, like with money, which is really important right now, especially now, there's the little heart icon down, so below the video there's a thumbs up, thumbs down, something else, and a heart. The heart is a way to send me a one-time quick tip, basically donation. And if you've ever bought anything through YouTube or Google in the past, it'll already have all your information. Little thing will pop up. You can choose how much you want to give me, boop, and it just goes right through. And thank you very much. The other way, PayPal is faster, and there's actually less of a fee on PayPal, which is nice. You give me X amount of dollars, and then YouTube takes a big chunk out of the middle of it, so you're giving me more money than I'm getting. They're getting something, so obviously YouTube would like that, but if you want to give me money and have me get more of what you're trying to give me, PayPal seems to be the best way right now. That is in the description. You can go to paypal.com, and I'll put my name up here on the screen just in case you can't figure out how to get down to the description. The other easy way is if you go to the website, and I'll put that up here also. carlincom.com has information about what I'm doing on the ride, where I'm at, although I haven't been updating it as much as I should. But it'll have a recent video on there, so if you bookmark that page, it's easy to get back to you. And I've got links to Patreon, PayPal, and all the videos. And actually, while I'm here and I've got Wi-Fi here, I'll see if I can figure out how to put a map up that I can post like waypoints onto it of actually where I'm at. I mean, I got time. I might as well do something like that while I'm here. Yeah, anyway. It was very disappointing this morning after I got a whole 7 miles. In fact, I got probably 10 miles because I was at mile 6 when I started. I crossed the state line. I got into Mesquite, got off the freeway, rode 3 miles to the Walmart, and then 3 miles back to the hotel and the casino here. Okay. So, yeah, but considering it was absolutely a perfect day to make some miles, to make some miles, and then I have that happen, yeah, just buzzkill. So I let the hot water run for a while, and I got my money's worth already, I think. And then the buffet, oh dude, that feels so good to be full. I've been eating just enough lately. And, well, it's like, on the one hand, I probably have the money to go buy more, but I have to carry it, right? So I'm limited water, limited food, massive tools, and then cold weather gear and everything else. Oh, laundry's just about done. Yay! All right, anyway, as always, thanks for all your support. I do appreciate it. Thanks for the comments. Sometimes I get the same, what I think is a dumb comment over and over again, and it kind of bugs me, so I'll try really hard to be nice. You don't all know that sales on a bicycle is really not a good idea, so we'll just deal with that as it comes up again, because it will. Yeah, anyway. It seems, so much of this bicycle trip, everything seems super obvious until you actually try it and it doesn't work, and then you're like stunned. Why doesn't this work? This should work. Yeah, welcome to my world. Okay, that's it. I'm going to go do laundry, and I'll post another video probably tomorrow, and we'll talk about the bike. Yay! Okay, bye for now.